Welcome back to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. And Terrika, we've talked all about the front runners and we've broken all of that down. But now I want to talk about some teams that may not be in the front, but teams that you certainly should be watching. So I have a couple, and I know you have a couple. So let me just start right off top with George Mason. This is a team that is in the NCAA tournament for the first time. They're 27-5 on the season. 15 victories in their past 17 games. They earned an automatic bid when they won the A10 conference this week. Or this past week, I should say. So congratulations to them on making it for the first time. They're taking on Florida State, who has lost 4 of their last 5 games. And I just feel like it's a matchup that people should see, not just because they are a team that is going into this for the first time, but also because I think it's just a really good matchup. You know, with Florida State coming in with those losses, I think they have a high chance to win this game, and I look forward to watching it. I also want to say that Coach Vanessa Blair-Lewis, this is her second time bringing in a team first into the NCAA tournament. She did this with Bethune-Cookman, and I'm just, as somebody who is just a woman working in sports for as long as I have. We both have been. It's just amazing to see a coach like this take her team again to the NCAA tournament. So listen, George Mason, definitely look out for that team. And then I just want to talk about NC State. Like, NC State is a number 2 overall seed, but I just don't feel like they've been getting the love that they deserve. They went to the Final Four last year, literally last year. They did lose to Duke in the ACC tournament final, but they beat Notre Dame in OT a couple of weeks ago. It's the 4th time that the Wolfpack have earned a number 2 seed. They're historically 3-3 as a number 2 seed, and each of the previous 3 times that they were seeded second rather, they won their first game but fell in the subsequent round. But yeah, I mean, they are the number 2 seed. I feel like that's nothing to scoff at. And they were in the Final Four last year, and they look poised to, really play some really amazing games this year. So don't count NC State out. Give them their flowers and their respect. That's just how I feel about that team for sure. But I know that you have 2 teams that you think that we should definitely look out for as well.
Yeah, I like those actually. I really do. And the shout out to Bethune-Cookman is dope. HBCU grad here. So I love that. But I think that we should also keep our eyes on the number 10 versus number 7, Harvard versus Michigan State. Now, as a Michigan State girly, this hurts my heart to say, but it is so interesting that they are going to be matching up because Harmony Turner for the Harvard Crimson have been incredible. Like, she dropped 44 points against Princeton in the semis in the Ivy League tournament, and all season long, she's really been one of the top players in the country. Now, when you look at Michigan State in that Big Ten tournament, one of the reasons that they fell short was turnovers. Well, guess what? Harmony Turner leads the conference in steals, and Harvard has one of the best defenses in the country. They allow teams to maybe drop 52.5 points per game. So when you mix the hottest player with the hottest defense, that could be a serious matchup for Sparty if they aren't careful. Okay. Another team that I think is interesting, and I know I'm gonna get some pushback on this. I'm sorry, Lady Vols, but USF and Tennessee, to me, it could be a potential nail biter. I think USF played one of the best non-conference schedules in the country. They gave Duke a loss in late December. They won the AAC tournament. And then I look at Tennessee coming into the NCAA tournament, losing 3 of their last 4 games. And I just think that this truly sets off, including a loss, to Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament. And so again, I just truly think this sets up an opportunity for USF to play spoiler. Will they? Who knows, right? But long gone to me are the days that we look at the beginning rounds of the NCAA tournament on the women's side, and we don't think that they have an opportunity to get some upsets going in. We've seen over the last couple of years upsets happen early, and so this could potentially be one of them.
Well, as someone who lives in the Bay Area, shout out to USF. Like, come on with it. I'm here for it all day. I actually have a little bonus team I wanted to talk about, Terrika, and that is Iowa. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is not on the team anymore. And, a lot of people haven't really talked about this team this year, but they've won 10 of the last 13, one double-digit loss all season. They almost beat UCLA and Ohio State, and they did beat USC. If they
Mhm.
lock in that perimeter defense, if they lock that in, they're certainly one of those sneaky teams to watch, I feel.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really great point. And so, since you got a bonus, let me throw out a bonus, right? I think Norfolk State University, right? So, shout out to the HBCUs. This year, they are the lone HBCU team that will be facing off against an injured Maryland team. This Norfolk State team has dominated the MEAC. They're led by Diamond Johnson. She's averaging 19 points per game. Kiera Wheeler, she's another beast, averaging 15.6 points per game. And let me tell you, this is a Norfolk State team that relies heavily on defense. So I talked earlier about a Spartan team that does horrible with turning the ball over. This Spartan team does a great job of keeping the ball. And they are the only team outside of UNC. No other team has put up more than 70 points on them. And then I look at Maryland being a team that has an injured Cheyenne Sellers, that literally has when I look at their performance in the Big Ten tournament, and I say to myself that this is a team that could have done differently if we didn't have players that had question marks. And so, granted, it might not be an upset, but I think it's certainly a Norfolk State team that you got to keep your eye on. And even more so, I have complained year over year about how HBCU teams have been ranked so unfairly. I think a 13 seed for this Norfolk State team was pretty fair this year. And so I'm just hoping that they continue to open the door for more HBCUs to get higher rankings and more respect in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. Let's see that. I would love to see that as well, Terrika. And I just
Yeah.
want to say, in general, anybody can win this. Anyone can win this. And if we have learned anything from this season, we've seen the number one rated team go back and forth, and people have been handing losses to each
Yep.
other left and right. And this is one of the reasons why we love this tournament is that literally
Yes.
anybody can win it. So look out for
Yes.
all these teams and all these games. Because when I'm looking at this and when I'm looking at, all of the different regions and all the different games, there's so many that I cannot wait to watch. And that's the magic of this moment, right?